going to wrap up earnings season with some of the remaining hot charts. A lot of them are retailers. Which ones should you be watching as everything on earnings winds down? These are hot ones you're not going to want to miss. Let's dive right in. One of the hottest retailers that you should be watching is Lululemon, ticker LULU. This was a big pandemic winner as we all stayed at home and wore athleisure, but the shares have basically stalled out, even with the great earnings surprises that it's had the last couple quarters. Just the two misses here in the last 5 years. And as you can see, it's put together these big beats here. Last quarter, not so big, just a 3.6% earnings surprise there. And as I said, shares are, kind of stalled out here. Year to date, down 7%. People have some issues with the valuation because it's trading at 50 times forward earnings. And everyone is asking now on the reopen, how many people are going to be buying those yoga pants now moving forward, or has all the demand just been pulled forward? We don't know, but this is what we're going to find out. And in full disclosure, I do own Lululemon in my own portfolio. So I'm just waiting on the sidelines, waiting to see how they're doing now as we move further here into 2021. And now we're going to switch over to another kind of pandemic winner area, and that's Thor Industries, ticker THO. These are the RVs. They own Airstream, plus a bunch of other hot brands in the RV and the towables area. And you can see this one too started off the year very hot, as even with the reopen, everybody is still wanting to buy the RVs. They can't keep them in stock. There's a big backlog. Everyone from baby boomers to millennials to now Gen Zs even want to buy the RVs and hit the road and get outside. So this is still a very hot area, but these shares have seen this little bit of a pullback here heading into this report. They're down about 13% in the last month. This could be a buying opportunity because the shares are still cheap here, trading at just about 13 times. So this is one to watch to see if these trends that we have been seeing for the past year are holding up. But from all indications, it seems like they will be. So this is a hot one on the reopen trade. Let's take a look at another one that everyone thought was only going to be a pandemic, in the middle of the pandemic play, but is now maybe also a reopen play, and that's RH, ticker RH. I own this one as well in my own personal portfolio, but this one, RH, great track record. The last miss was in 2016, and if you recall, that was way back when they were rolling out their new modern line, and they had a whole bunch of issues with execution. But execution has not been the problem the last year or more, as furniture remains one of the hottest items in the pandemic, and now even on the reopen. Housing market is strong. So if you're buying that new house or that new second home, you want new furniture. And a lot of the furniture companies seeing big backlogs, taking 4 or 5 months to get product. So the pandemic's still hitting some of the supply chain for the furniture makers as well, and just the logistics. We know the container shortage. We've heard all this coming out of Asia, and RH does ship out of Asia. So that's something to watch. But overall, demand should remain high, and RH is going to be rolling out into Europe shortly, probably not until 2022, but we may hear an update on this quarter about where things stand on the European expansion. And otherwise, they have a few domestic galleries still to open as well. So how hot will it be for RH? These they do well when the stock market is at new record highs, which it almost is again. So this is another thing to watch. Year to date, shares up 43%. How much you willing to pay? The forward PE is at 30, so not incredibly expensive compared to some others, but not cheap either. So this is one, again, on the furniture side and on luxury, you should be tuning into. Switching over back to apparel, and one of the hottest apparel retailers that's been a quiet one is Oxford Industries, ticker OXM. You may know its brands, which are Tommy Bahama, Lilly Pulitzer and Southern Tide. And it's really Lilly that is the driver. It's one of their, that is their top brand. But a lot of their stores are kind of stationed in places where you go on vacation. So Las Vegas and Orlando, two of their biggest stores. But that is coming back. Everybody's surging to these places. So are they going to be shopping at Oxford Industries? Probably yes. So as you can see, everybody is thinking what I'm thinking. Yeah, everybody is going to be shopping there. Even though they're coming off that big miss last quarter, shares continue to break out and are at new 5-year highs. Year to date, up 46%, outperforming even RH, even the hot furniture area. And maybe still more left in the tank. We will see. They're not cheap anymore. They used to trade kind of in the low double digits, but Oxford now trading at 31 times as those earnings are trying to catch up with what's happening with the price here and with where the stock is. But we will see if they're going to have the super big comps. I know just from my own just checking around, at least on Lilly's site, they have had a lot of their product going out of stock, sold out. So will that be true over Tommy and Southern Tide as well? We will see. And then we're going to wrap it up with one of the big retail winners during the pandemic that people think is not going to be anymore, CHWY, ticker CHWY. It's put together 3 huge beats in a row because of the pandemic demand. But now shares are now down 18% year to date as they kind of come back down to earth here, even with those 3 big beats. Earnings, PE is still sky high at 365 times with a PEG of 18. So while it does have the growth, you are paying quite a high price for these shares here, even with the pullback. But the question will be, can they keep up some of this momentum from the pandemic into the reopening? That still remains to be seen, which is why the street is fleeing the shares here. But this is definitely one on the retail side you're going to want to tune in on. So as you can see, we're still going to hear from some of the big 2020 and now into 2021 pandemic recovery winners here. Some may not be winners, but we don't know yet. So that remains to be seen. But these are the kind of interesting names that are still coming here at the very end of earnings season. We're also going to get the fiscal reporters, which includes companies like Nike and Micron. They're coming up soon. But otherwise, it's going to go quiet here until we get the start of second quarter earnings season, which is going to come up right around the corner here in the middle of summer. So you want to subscribe to get all of our videos. You can also get the top stock picks if you go to Zacks.com/YouTube. Get our weekly top stock picks there and all our earnings all-star charts when those start rolling out again in the next couple of weeks. But be sure to get us on Zacks.com, at YouTube, on our YouTube channel. And I'll see you again next time when earnings season resumes in July.